Hey, what's up, ecosystem? It's no secret what's going on. The whole world is at home, we're all online, and if you're buying a car, you're buying online. And if you're buying online and the car is used, you're gonna need good information. High-resolution pics, clickable data points, point-by-point inspection data, and you can have that with Dealer Specialties CARscore report. That's the interview tonight with Aaron Maier of Dealer Specialties. And we have a great panel discussion. We have Mike Benavides of Data One Software, Kim Skaggs, CEO of 50 State DMV. So you're going to want to buckle in. It's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Back again, everybody, to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Listen, thank you guys so much for joining me on Tuesday Nights Live. The audio volume was locked there, so I couldn't lower it. I got to check that out. In fact, I'm going to make a note. Audio, check the car, hauler, audio, lock. Always making notes here at Auto Transport Intel. That is what I do. I go live every Tuesday night. Now I go live 4 to 5 times a week. Got State of Car Hauling Address Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Got Dispatching Live on Thursday. But listen, if this is your first time here, I want you to feel welcome. Thank you for joining me on a Tuesday Nights Live. Luckily, we're all at home, so makes it easier. But you can join and check out the show from anywhere you want. So please do feel welcome, and please do say hello in the live chat. The live chat is a big part of the show. Whether you're the interview or a panel guest or a trucker and you are sanitizing or a car shipper or a car dealer or an insurance guy, you work at a truck trailer manufacturing unit, I'm telling you, I want everybody to feel welcome. I want you to please say hello. Please promote your product, service, company. And then I want you to stick around for industry news. Industry news is a huge part of the show. It's always been a great segment. I've always loved industry news, but it's become more important than ever. It's gone from a 15-minute segment to like a 45-minute segment, which is crazy. But once we get there, we're going to go into the interview. Okay, cool. I'm checking my phone to make sure there's nothing wrong with the stream. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. And the interview is going to be great. We've got Aaron Maier of Dealer Specialties talking about CARscore, detailed vehicle inspection report for car buying sight unseen. That is happening. That is happening. So if you need that, you're going to love this interview. Then we're going to open it into a panel. We're going to have Kim. She's the CEO of 50StateDMV.com. You can check it out right now. And also Mike Benavides of Data One Software. He's been on the show before, friend of the show. He's going to be back on tonight. So I am really excited about tonight's show. We are going to go into the live chat, but before we do, I'm going to do this.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0000. 888-778-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
All right, thank you, Sue. Sue is a friend of the show. There's her contact information. If you have a dispatching question, a broker question, or you are looking for someone to help you stay loaded. In fact, Sue is now my co-host on Dispatching Live. We'll be live again on Thursday at noon Central Time, so you're not going to want to miss that. Okay, so let's go into the live chat. I love this part of the show. By the way, and you saw I said start a watch party. I mean that. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, bear with me a second. I got to stop the audio. I want to tune into I'm on Facebook. I'm going to check Facebook because I want you to join on YouTube and on Facebook, okay? I mean it, so please do that. All right, let's go into the live chat. Let's see what we got in here. Ty always gets in here first. Is this where you buy cars sight unseen without looking at them? Well, yes, Ty, this is where you do that. This is where you do everything that is the title of the episode, and you just read it from the title card and slap it into the live chat, and I love that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Michael Culler, howdy. Welcome back to the show, Michael. Thank you for joining us, part of the core. Really do appreciate it. Joseph McCleary, who buys a car without taking one out for a demolition ride? Demonstration ride. Thank you, Joe. Well, you know what? That's the thing. Hey, man, it's an internet world. Are you going to be able to see it physically before you buy it? Maybe it's a heck of a deal, and with the right information, you go ahead and do it. Okay. Carlos Braxton, what's up? ACB Logistics in the house. Bill Bad Apples, is this where you find green moonshine? As a matter of fact, it is. And if you stick around long enough, you'll see it too. Sue is here. Hey, what's up, Sue? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. Thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate it. Thank you for being in the live chat, supporting the show. Really do appreciate it. Koma, Teva, Jay, Ty, and everyone. Well, I'll tell you what. I've been working on my Duolingo, and I almost got something out of that. So, but I am in the Emerald League, which is pretty cool. I highly recommend it. Fast Eddie Transport says, Excelsior, what's up, Fast Eddie Transport? Hello, everyone. Jesse with 50 State DMV. So Jesse's in the house. Listen, if you've got a titling, registration, Confusamundo question, Jesse is here from 50 State DMV. He's in the live chat. You can ask him. Get some advice. Michael Coronado says hello. What's up, Michael Coronado? Thanks for tuning in. Michael Collar, dude, I got you on the big TV, so all the kids have to watch. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. That's great. Well, what's up, family? It's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. Everybody was at home anyways. So thank you so much. Vince Duodo. Hello, Vince. How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. Dealer Specialties of San Antonio and South Texas. Thank you, Michael. Okay. And I appreciate that station identification. If you want to let people know who you are, what you represent, what questions you can answer, fantastic. Kenneth Haught, good evening, Jay and chat. Ken from You First Transport tuning in. Thank you, Kenneth. Seen you before. I do appreciate it. Charles Method is here. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday evening. Thank you for tuning in, Charles. Thank you for saying hello. Thank you for being a new part of the core. I got dad duty while my wife heals from the damn... Well, that's good, man. Thank you for doing that. And I hope that she's okay. And I want to say this too. I was thinking this before the show got started. Seriously, I have fun with the show because I got to do something, right? I got to do something. But I do hope that if you have coronavirus, if you feel like you've been exposed to it, or if you're just plain old still working, please do be safe. I hope that you stay safe, and I hope that the precautions you take are working. Everything is good. Awesome. Thank you, honey. We are 5 by 5 in the pipe. That's right. Right on aliens when they're flying in and she's 5 by 5 in the pipe. You betcha. Carlos Braxton, what's up, Mark? Kenneth Haught. Oh yeah, man. Mark, what's up? Mark from Superflow. Dude. So I was working on a new edit, Mark. Alexa, open Quotify. That is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to show the thumbnail later in industry news, so you'll want to stick around for that. If you're just joining me now, listen, please do say hello in the live chat. We're saying hello in the live chat. We're going to go into industry news in a few minutes. Rodrigo Campos says, hola. Well, hello, Rodrigo. Kim Skaggs is here from 50 State DMV. So awesome. Excellent. We have 2 people from 50 State DMV here live in the chat on Tuesday night. Lionel Yates is here. Hey, you got an insurance question? Ask Lionel. Lionel was an interview on the show a few weeks ago. Aaron Maier's here. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? I'm excited to have you on the show here in the interview segment shortly. I do appreciate it. Hello, world. As everybody's first blog post. Welcome to the most informative auto hauler show in the whole world. Thank you, Lionel. I appreciate that. That's really nice. Ty Thompson was great with Shaggy Trucking Training Group today. Awesome. That was a good idea. I was in webinars. We were all in. Who wasn't in a webinar today? Oh, who wasn't in a web? Hope Carlos. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, who's tired of webinars? Cable Trader, first time here. Well, thank you, Cable Trader. Were you in a webinar today? How many webinars have you had today? Hey, Wild Bill, glad to be here, says Vince, Carlos, Mark, Michael, Ty, Sue, Kenneth, Michael, Ty, Sue, Kenneth. Ooh, Asik Bianimanov. I think I got it. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, how did you hear about the show? There's a good question. How did you hear about the show? Marketing survey. I feel your pain. 50 State. Hey, what's up? Okay, cool. In fact, let's do this. I am going to check, see what's going on in Facebook. Okay, we got some people tuning in. Oh, sweet. We got some people tuning in on Facebook. Let's see here. Let's go to, okay. I don't think you can hear that, but I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. Yep, we got a couple people in Facebook. Awesome. So, listen, if you're in Facebook, start a watch party. How about that? You know, as if people weren't webinared out enough. This is not a webinar, by the way. And in fact, you're going to see it in industry news that if you want me to watch your webinar, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Here's the deal. It is now time for some industry news. So we are, and Michael Harris. What's up, Michael Harris? And Danny B. What's up, Michael Danny B? What's up, Michael Danny B? I just made up a name. Hey, what's up? Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Here's what we're going to do. Right after this, we're going to come back with some industry news. You are not going to want to miss it. I just read that in the live chat. I heard about a new strand at the auctions. Do tell. That sounds very intriguing. Okay, so let's do this, guys. It is now time for industry news. For some people, this is their favorite part of the show. So I just always like to say, this is episode 134 tonight. This is Car Buying Sight Unseen with Dealer Specialties, CARscore Report. And Aaron Maier is the interview. So that is coming up in about 45 minutes at the 9 o'clock hour. So we're going to do about 40 minutes of news. Got a lot of stuff. And so let's get it started. And by the way, don't forget to start a watch party. Let your friends know, man, listen, this is what I'm doing right now. This guy is crazy. He's this car shipping guy. He's going to, right now, in fact, hurry up and do this because he's going to start a recap of this whole past week of craziness and leading into knowledge today. Then he's going to go into an interview and a panel discussion. It's the longest show ever. Can't believe it's the most fun webinar I've ever had in my life. Oh, my gosh. Hey, by the way, we're back open. Stop breathing on me. This is in somebody's new coworker. I think this is Aaron Friedman at ACI Transport, his new coworker. Stop breathing on me. I think the caption here was, there's just a little meat left on the bone. Thank you, Rich. And timely, because you know what, we can do better. Access to restrooms on site cut 34%. Really? There's a third less craps taken? I don't think that's an actual study. Hey, all truck drivers, bad news. To ensure the safety of our employees, we cannot allow you indoor No loitering, no coffee, no water. Drivers are only to come in and grab your scale ticket. We apologize. Okay. Well, I guess at least they apologize. Why do people wear masks in their cars? Is there a thing? Like, does that help? Oh, okay. It's for the drive-in thermometer check. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. On the news now, instead of just putting the temperature of the day, they'll put the temperature of the employees. Concern about the virus versus concern about disappearing freedoms. Why not? Okay, hey, daily confirmed virus cases. This is good news. Okay, so I checked it today, and there's a delay in the data. I don't know why, but anyways, I mean, you can see here. You can see here as the blizzard moves out of the north that we seem to be flattening something. That's good. It'll be what'll really be good is if we see that like go down significantly. We're still waiting for the down part of the V. Hey, this is how you get your car shipping news, or at least, something like that. Or at least, hey, if you're Michael Culler, this is how you entertain your family on a Tuesday night. Well, all the kids run around and you're picking stuff up and there's Cheerios everywhere. You know what? By the way, I start my Wednesday mornings now because it's Tuesday night. So tomorrow morning, I'll be tuning in again. I know the date's wrong here. I just shared a slide from Pat last week. Go to Automotive Logistics. You can do this too. Starts at 8:30 Central Time, and they do a global automotive logistics, finished vehicle logistics, supply chain analysis. So this is the weekly global finished vehicle logistics update. It's great. It's great. Love it. Here's a couple pieces of information from last Wednesday. It already seems like forever ago. Russia reports its largest single-day increase. So I guess Russia is just right behind the U.S. a little bit. Social distancing may be necessary into 2020, says a researcher. Boy, isn't that what you want to be hearing? Leaders begin talks to restart the U.S. regional economies. Begin. You see that? Yeah, Jay, I did. European, the EU proposes a roadmap out of lockdown. So that's where we are. That's kind of this past week recap. We're now looking at a roadmap out of lockdown. We got into this mess. Now, how in the world do we get out of this? All right. And by the way, this is another wonderful, like other respiratory viruses, there will be a seasonality to it. Oh, great. So hang on to those masks. Okay, speaking of OEMs, we had the OEM shutdown. I mean, the OEMs shut down. You know this. This is not news. The OEMs shut down, and they're working on reopening, and they're working on ramping up. But when? When are they going to prepare to reopen? There is a website. It's on Auto News, and it talks about assembly plants reopening. But really, it's either no start date or May for pretty much everybody. So, and anything can change at any time. My gosh, this is April 2020. Man, rock the boat, don't rock the boat. Okay, Volkswagen and Toyota will be reopening European car plants next week. So we're following Europe, right? China is following, or it goes China, then Europe, then U.S., and then Russia, something like that. I don't know. Still wait to hear about what's happening in like Africa. Hey, by the way, speaking of barren places with no, okay, Michigan. Okay, check this out. Auto dealers are essential. Fine, uncle. She finally gave in. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer changed the conditions. Okay, fine, you can buy cars. You still can't talk or have barbecues. But you can't. Yeah, you cannot travel between your residences. But fine, you can buy cars, but not in the showroom. Fine. Michigan car dealerships can operate electronically under the new executive order. Showrooms remain closed, but car dealerships can still do business. Okay. Well, I call it progress in the new protest America. Yeah, you saw that? That they were in the streets, man. There was a video and all about it. Okay, so Pennsylvania's still on the radar. Pennsylvania dealer losing vehicle sales to neighboring states right over the border. In fact, other states are advertising in Pennsylvania. How do you like those apples? That's great. Hey, TSA grants exemption for expired Twix. Well, thank you, because we can't really do much. So, appreciate it. Wow. Amazing. Don't you love it when you see the government helping out? It's amazing. Tour de France postponed till August 29th by 2 months. That'll be interesting. Watch this one. If they postpone it again, then you know there's something going on. I hope that doesn't happen. This was last week. The IRS site crashed. It's not crashed anymore. It was a temporary crash. We all crashed temporarily. Hey, here's where you go. IRS.gov, you already did this? You already got your payment? Oh, okay, cool. Great. You already got paid. Wow, that was fast. This was an NADA webinar that I tuned into. I think this was last Thursday, the 15th. Great webinar. Great stuff. Really, really good information. In fact, I think you can rewatch it if you go to nada.org and click on one of the links there, and then submit your information. You can watch it. I recommend it. I got a couple takeaways here. Wet signatures. Nearly all states still require wet signatures for title transfers and vehicle regulations. Man, this is 50 states, DMV stuff all the way. You got it. Oh, you got a question about transfers and vehicle registrations? Ask away. They're here in the live chat. Also, identity theft and fraud. Oh, yeah, of course. Pandemic has led to an unfortunate increase in fraud, so you got to be careful. And that sucks, right? And in the contracts that you do online, exercise caution in who you choose to go with. And make sure this is where it gets really legal, man. Have your little lawyer sitting next to you on your shoulder, wherever he hangs out. Because when you send an electronic document to a customer, they have to electronically provide their consent. Right? Consent to receiving electronic records must be an opt-out option. This is just good to know. We occasionally talk contracts, you know. Is anybody asleep? The kids asleep? We're talking contracts, kids. Anyways. Exercise caution with text messages, too. That's also really important. And avoid misleading COVID-related marketing. Hey, do you need an automotive webinar recap? I seem to do an amazing job of it. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Shameless. Andrew Cuomo extends New York coronavirus shutdown to May 15th as deaths passed 12,000. So, yeah. New York is still on pause. You got another month, New York. Maybe, probably. Trump was celebrating America's truckers at the White House. Again, you saw, doesn't this seem like a month ago? That's how fast everything's changing. But anyways, this is like Thursday. Hey, thank God for truckers, says President Trump. Somebody had to. And by the way, the OIDA recommends the White House needs small business truckers in the industry groups. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Okay, Trump's reopening plan. Okay, this was, the 16th? This is like last Friday. There's a reopening, 3-phase reopening plan. If you haven't heard and you're sitting at home or you just got out of like a cryogenic chamber. Anyways, Trump is planning a 3-phase opening plan. Okay, and he unveiled it on Friday. It's called the Opening Up America Again plan. It's interesting. Phase 1, you can reopen as long as you observe strict social distancing. Schools are closed. Bars are closed. Bad news. Phase 2, we can reopen. Non-essential travel can resume. No kidding. Non-essential travel. When is Phase 2? Somebody get me to Phase 2. And then Phase 3, employers can resume unrestricted staffing. I'm gonna guess. Don't even guess, Jay. Please don't even do it. The big picture, it leaves final say in loosening restrictions okay, you can read it. Urging people to wear masks and face coverings when in public. So you guys some people are wearing them in their cars. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Midwest governors announce an alliance. What? An alliance? Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Thank you for reigning in Michigan. Thank you, guys. Maybe that was the purpose of the alliance. We got to help Michigan. Gradual reopening company checklist. PPE, which is personal protective equipment. Like and there's the temperature again of the employees. Okay. So on that same day, there was a car carrier stolen. Same day Trump was at the White House talking about truckers is the same day a car carrier got stolen. Write down this information. You seen this guy? Give him a call. Contact Frank. Let him know. You know, because we know there's been fraud. We know it's a troubling times. Hey, by the way, you know what? You know what time it is? That's right. It is time for the industry news ELD break. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a little of this. Hang on one second.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging on. How we all doing? We ready for the second half of industry news? Here we go. Now, you know that the feds recommend auto sales be listed as essential service. Okay, that's not old news, but it would be a move that would contradict the previous executive order of Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I'll tell you what, honestly, with what Michigan just went through, I think we could probably clock her every few minutes and be okay. Hey, so what do? Everybody's at home. This is what you do. You celebrate. Take a picture of your office. It'll be, that's that quiet Sunday day off picture, but I think this is a normal day. This is when everybody should be at work. Hey, get back to work, everybody. Now you have this. Now you've got your home office. You went from that to this. So hopefully you are ready at your battle station. Just wanted to share that. I love that kind of stuff. Oh, this is, here we go. This is a spreadsheet. This is a stay-at-home, end-date, state-by-state spreadsheet that I found. I can't even remember where I found it. But if your state is on here, call out your state. We might check it out. But it looks like, here's the deal. Most states are talking about the end of the month. So really, I mean, we're under 2 weeks of sitting at home, watching webinars. But that's just the stay at home. What does it mean? I mean, will a restaurant be open? Will a bar be open? Will the bowling alley be? Hey, Texas, exactly. Check this out. That's funny, Mark. And by the way, Trump did blast unreasonable governors, Michigan, for being unreasonable, tweeting Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia. There's a lot of protests out there. Interesting. And by the way, I like this. Huckabee, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, he said people aren't stupid. The American people just need to be told not just the what, give them the why. They're grown-ups. Why is it they can do such things as go to a drive-in church? Why is it they can't do things as go to a drive-in church or buy seeds off the shelf and plant tomatoes in the backyard? Love that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, that's it, Mark. Breaking news. Texas will be the first U.S. state to reopen. So, once again, Texas. Although beaches in Florida reopened Friday night. So, you know what, man? Sometimes you just have to go to the beach. Even if the U.S. border is closed. Wow, isn't that interesting? This is what it took to close the U.S. border. I believe that's the U.S.-Mexico border. I believe. Anyways. Looking for a 4, 5, 6 car hauler? Within 7 hours, a dozen trailers were listed. You ever feel like deja vu? Because some of this I shared on State of Car Hauling Address, but not everybody makes it to State of Car Hauling Address. Hey, by the way, here's a picture of Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, Santa Anita Park. I think this is Dodger Stadium. Hundreds of rental cars. I mean, they're not just parked. Man, those things are parked, dude. You know how long it'll take to get all... Well, I mean, with some organization, but still. Those things are parked. That should tell you something. In fact, that tells you that vehicle storage is bursting at the seams. The U.S. outbound sector fighting for a storage war in the coronavirus. I know, it's not what you want to hear. Listen, if you work in car hauling, it's not what you want to hear. And Chris says, if I could be of any help moving cars, I'm close to Houston. Now, that's a good idea, Chris. Texas Auto Logistics, LLC. This is one of the things I've been talking about. I know it's not popular. Man, oh man, do I know. It's not popular to talk about social media and auto transport. But I'm telling you, man, you got to do something. You got to get those relationships, talk to people. Because this crisis is probably worse for the auto industry than the last recession. I was watching some videos today. It wasn't good. But, hey, check that out. More loads on Central Dispatch. I don't remember when that was. Was that Monday? Actually, loads went up on Central. Very surprised. Hey, but if you're an auto hauler, go to autohaulersamerica.com, and there's a full presentation about payroll protection program. Okay, because you're going to want to know about that. Do all the things financial, do all the things safety, and then do all the things marketing to get through this time. And maybe pivot your business a little. But anyways, thank you, autohaulersamerica.com. Yes, auto sales are added to the U.S. guidelines on essential workers. It is official. As of Friday, you can now buy cars. You can sell cars. Showrooms in many states are closed, but you can buy cars. Now, that's a federal guideline. And as Kim at 50 States DMV will tell you, that just because it's a federal guideline doesn't mean it's a state law. So, contactless purchasing, helping shoppers, dealers safely connect. Now, it's interesting. There are some companies definitely that want to help online car buyers, and our interview tonight is one of those companies, Dealer Specialties. See, here's another one. You're familiar with Carvana, right? What do you think Carvana can do to make sure that the new car buyer is comfortable? I'm not sure exactly what Carvana uses, but we might talk about that in our panel tonight. How about a big moving box? You know what? Maybe it's not just an advertisement. Maybe they now sell giant moving boxes in Germany. Einfach geklicken. Versticken. Okay. All right, Jay. All right. We realize you have a German last name. That's very exciting. Company takes proactive approach to disinfecting vehicles. I can't say enough how much I know it's going to suck. It is. But if you can add disinfectant to your auto shipping and turn your company into disinfectant auto shipping, I'm telling you, you're going to be onto something. Home delivery is all the rage. Central dispatch and load board rates, not all the rage. Home delivery, touchless delivery, disinfecting shipping, all the rage. You don't have to listen. You don't. Even Accident Plan has masks for drivers. Snuck that in there. What's up, Brendan? Assertus, extra sanitary precautions when picking up and delivering. I'm telling you, it's going to be all the rage. You don't need me to tell you. You guys already know this. The question is, what can you charge for those sanitary precautions? That's what I'm wondering. Shared this. This was from yesterday. Finally, we're in recent news. Kentucky sees highest spike in corona cases after lockdown. Protests. They picked a great picture for the cover, by the way. In fact, isn't that funny? Let us work. Wasn't it? Last year, wasn't it? We all want to go home, or we need time off. We need time off. 2020. Okay. I think I got my point off. Okay. Nobody's ever happy. Please show support for your local healthcare heroes and give support. Very cool. I thought it was very cool. Wanted to share that. Great idea. It's always good to be, reminded of what we appreciate is happening out there. I said it before, I say it again. Get your car shipping button. If you don't have the technology to get a car shipping button, find a company that can help you get a car shipping button. Actually, check this out. Easy Auto Ship, their car shipping button, you guessed it, Superflow. Friend of the show. Talk to Mark. He's in the live chat. There you go. Get you a graphic. Get you an animated graphic and let people know that you're ready to go. Even like this one, Textium offers no-cost email instant trade values It's all happening on technology right now. That's how we're keeping in touch. Well, what do we... Oh, hand sanitizer kiosks. Saw this today on LinkedIn. Hand sanitizer kiosks. So, I think we're going to see a lot more of these. Where are we going to see them? And where in our industry... Thank you, Michael. Got a watch party going. Awesome. Where in our industry are we going to see more hand sanitizer kiosks? Other than, you know, the front door, the mailbox, the grocery store. Will you see them at the guard shack? I don't know, maybe. Rental car locations, dealerships, kitchens. Hey, does anyone know of an app where you can have control of your deliveries? Where I'd be able to take a picture of the cars, clients can receive them in emails? I share this because I love this. This is awesome. This is where we're at. There's still people that don't know that there are mobile apps where you can do that stuff. And if you have such a mobile app, I think there's room for more advertising. You think? I think so. All right, cool. Because the answer is yes, there are those, and they've been around for years. Oh, yeah, here we go. $80 COD from Texas to Texas. Come and get them. Oh, no way. $10? Grand Prairie to Houston? This is on an auto transport load board? Really? 4 cents a mile? Wow, dude. All I can say is wow. Hey, how long do you think before loads start picking up again? You know why I share this? I'm going to go with 2022 when we can take our masks off. I'm going to go with 2022. Hey, red hot loads available. Get them while they're hot. 5% quick pay. 9 units. Oh, I'm like, why did I share this slide? Right, because there's the reply. F off. It's pretty funny. That's a real... Oh, man. Payment terms are now... so I called blankety blank for an order. They said COVID-19. Payment terms are now 3.5 weeks to not sure when you will get paid. And they're now participating in a Ponzi scheme. I'll tell you what. That's a reply. That's how it feels. I've seen a little bit more of this than I like. I've seen a lot more of this than I like. So here's the bad news. Okay, if nobody's buying cars, supply is stacking up everywhere, how are rates still rock bottom? I mean, I understand how rates are still rock bottom. Because they remain rock bottom. Because there's no supply and there's tons of trucks. There's very little demand, right? That's how rates stay rock bottom. But they're never going to go back up, really, dude. If you are booking off of load boards, I got bad news, man. Those rates are never going. They're never going to go back up. Not really. I've been hearing that question all last year, all of 2019. I heard that question. If you're still asking that question, I have videos for you to watch. By the way, I got a call from my broker today asking us to help move a unit. Broker still owes us $800. I asked for the accounting department. So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to send my money on fuel, insurance, payroll, other expenses, but I can't get paid. I got to put... Really? Wow. Yeah, man. Any suggestions for surety bond companies? I need a quote. Okay, there you go. Hey, man, room for advertising right in there. Oh, only if we knew of a company that... subprime car buyers skipping loan payments. We heard that repo was down. It's not going to stay down. It's not. It can't. It can't. 25% of auto customers seek forbearance. April's wholesale vehicle price decline could be historic. This is yesterday's news, by the way, which is pretty much today's news because that is major. This is a big deal. GM Ford Credit Arms may lose billions. Dude. Because... I'm not a finance guy. I'm not going to dive into it. But, here's a graph. Thank you, Ron. Ron sent me this video. Listen, if you got something for me to read, share, or look at, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Ron sent me a video today. This is a slide from that. Man, Plummet City. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. That's U.S. new light vehicles sold. Way down. That's just that. The time is now. That's why I made this video. The time is now. Listen, if there ever was a time to adapt, change, innovate, or do something new, it's right freaking now. It is. It's right now. I know. Not everybody wants to hear it. I know, man. I get it. Believe me. I didn't want to hear it when I was told. Brokers and dealers don't give a F. You tell them 125, they posted on Central for 75. Central seems to have a monopoly on loads. Hey, Auto Transport Intel on YouTube has good. Thank you so much. That's so cool. Can't believe you blurred his name out. How uncool. All American Truck and Transport. Advertise. That's why I'm sharing this. Advertise, man. Advertise. And then call. You know, it's part of the sales process. Watch a marketing video. Go to HubSpot.com. Watch a marketing video. Here's another one from All American Off-Road Vehicles. You know, because you look at it. I'm looking at the ATV, I'm reading the thing, hey, there's a phone number, there's an email address, bada bing, bada boom. That is the beginning of a marketing campaign. And we're going to talk more about that stuff. We're going to be live on Thursday. You are going to watch, and I'll see you there, Dispatching Live with ATI and Murphy Auto Transport on Thursday at noon Central Time. That's going to be a great show. Are there any loads? Sue, is there anything to book? Chadley. Thank you, Chadley. I just saw all the hearts. Thank you so much. I've been skipping a lot of the live chat, so I appreciate that. Hey, you can add Alexa to your vehicle for $15. Well, now, why would you do that? Why would you add Alexa to your vehicle? Oh, wait a minute. Alexa, open Quotify. Okay, so this is a sneak preview. All right, so if you're watching live right now, you are the first to know I have made the video edit. I'm dropping it, I think, Friday. The big demo. Man. So if you already saw the live show from last Tuesday, you saw us do a live demo, right? So I made the video edit. It's going to be, man, that is awesome technology. I'm telling you, Mark, I'm so proud of this content because this is groundbreaking. This is serious stuff. In fact, I was just watching a video today. There was his last name was Fitzpatrick. No, that was the host name. But anyways, I was watching this video today. This guy's Google Analytics big time. And he was talking about how, yes, typing search has really turned to voice search in a big way. Like, people are speaking into their search results, and the analytics show it because it's more phrase-driven, sentence-driven. People are voice searching. Alexa, open Quotify, big time. Boom. Mic drop. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this was in the on that show we did last Tuesday night. Exotic Hotshot says, my notifications come in as text as soon as a load on my route is posted, and I love it. That is awesome feedback. Thank you, Exotic Hotshot. Oh, by the way, next Tuesday night we have broker versus dispatcher. We're going to take another bite at this apple. This seems to be a pretty big deal. And I know that in the middle of COVID, maybe now isn't the time to dive into, highly regulated legal language talk. But, I mean, I think if you work in car shipping and you are on social media, each week you see at least one person say something, propose something, post something that makes you think, now, are they a broker or a dispatcher or what is that? How in the world is that exactly legal? The legal question keeps coming. So, broker versus dispatcher, we're going to be back at it Tuesday night with James Lamb of SBTC. That's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that show. Also, hey, Acertus, world's greatest TV at 6 a.m. on DirecTV, channel 305, sure is specific, or Dish Network. Anyways, check that out if you want to learn more about, when is that? What is that, Monday? Yeah, that's next Monday morning? Wow, that's early. I didn't even think about that. So if you get up bright and early, that's 5 a.m. Central Time? Anyway, set your DVRs. You guys still have DVRs? Honey, we still have a DVR. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. Do we have that on the DVR? Not yet. But I'll tell you what, That is a great idea. Listen, guys, we made it to the end of industry news. Wow, it only took 30 minutes. Went through a lot of stuff, though. In fact, here's what we're going to do. I like to do this. Before I go to the interview, I like to try and the big demo that looks good to you. Let's go back through and just get a little bit of the stuff that I missed here. I'm going to go back in the chat. Bear with me. What else we got? Maier, Texas is the place to be. Oh, Texas is the place for me. Justin Bonnerock. Hi. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Eric Ray is with us. What's going on, Eric Ray? Big Will is with us. What's up, Big Will? Thanks for tuning in. Dang, I got a super chat? Eric Ray? Thanks, buddy. That is so cool, man. Listen, I really appreciate that. In fact, Eric has pointed out there is a super chat. There's a $sign in your live chat. You can just go ahead and press that $sign. You can add whatever dollar amount you want to. And it's kind of the ATI stimulus package here on Tuesday nights. Eric Ray has been on the show. I had a great show with Eric Ray, Easy Auto Ship. And we had a great interview. And yeah, I shared a couple images. There was a car shipping button. Anyways, here's the deal. If you're a car shipping customer and you need to ship a privately owned vehicle, your vehicle, or if you're a carrier or a broker and you work in POV moves and you are looking for help, advice, networking, Eric Ray is the man. He is the owner of Easy Auto Ship. He's in the live chat. Hats off to you, Eric. Thank you for contributing to the show. And I mean what I said. Eric is a friend of the show, and I really look forward to having you in another panel, Eric. That is super, super cool. Like Mike Stevens, SoCal. Hello from Mike Benavides. What is up, Mike? Mike's in the live chat, too. Hey, that means that Data One Software is in the live chat. If you got a data question, it's in the live chat. Chadley1976 says that's awesome. Yes, thank you, Chadley. Exotics in Kansas City, what up? Get the barbecue. Can you get the barbecue? Here's what I know you can do. We actually ordered Jack Stack. We ordered Jack Stack barbecue. Call it in. And then they're actually everything is outside, and the parking lot was really organized. Everybody had masks and gloves. Great barbecue, just kind of classic barbecue. But anyways, do that, man. Support local, right on. Support local because we're going to need you when this stuff is over. Can't everybody just shutting down and going away. That'd be terrible. What else we got here? Let's see. I lost my place. I was saying hello. Yeah, Big Well, lot them brokers. Okay, man, cool. Awesome. Gary P is with us. What's up, Gary P? Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Tuesday Nights Live. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to get ready for the interview with Aaron Maier, all right, of Dealer Specialties. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to load up the Zoom meeting pipe. You're a day off, Jay. Okay, we're going to get that going, and then we're going to be back, and I hope you stick around. It's going to get crazy.
How much do you worry about condition when you shop for a used car vehicle?
It's huge for me. I mean, I think anybody is buying a car, it's a huge investment. So condition is everything other than mechanical side of it. You know, you want it to look good. You're putting money into that. That's something that you work hard for.
Because this is the authorized retailer, new and used, obviously, that you buy, is there a higher level of expectation?
Yes, absolutely. Maybe I just feel better, you know, buying a Land Rover from a Land Rover dealership instead of going somewhere else and buying it used. I just feel better about it.
When you shopped for a used car vehicle, you looked at a CARscore report. What were some of the things you found most interesting about that?
Getting information that I needed without having to go all the way to that dealership, you know. I think that's the best part of it. Just time saver, and shopping for cars is stressful even when it's exciting, you know, and just being able to kind of narrow down and understand more of price differences.
How influential was that report in your buying decision?
It definitely narrowed down dealerships for me, and went there and it was everything it was supposed to be, so it was really nice. And I have very limited time. I want to narrow it down 1, 2, or 3 places. Moving forward, that's the only way I'm going to shop for cars.
What would you tell a customer who's actively shopping for a used vehicle right now?
Definitely utilize CARscore. I mean, everything's legitimately there. It's a tool out there. Why wouldn't you use it?
All right, and we're live with Aaron Maier. No S at the end of that. It's Aaron Maier. I told you that. I was thinking, it's funny because I saw that in the live chat and I was thinking, it is Aaron Maier. It is not what I said. Okay? So I apologize, but I'm glad that you joined me and I appreciate you waiting. You're here, Aaron. So thank you for joining me on Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel.
No, thanks for having me. No worries on the S. Happens all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so So I've got you here. Please introduce yourself and let everyone know what is Dealer Specialties and what is CARscore Report.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I've been with Dealer Specialties for about 20 years. Great organization. I've been in the auto industry with Dealer Specialties that entire time. So when I give people the elevator pitch of what Dealer Specialties is, it's if you've ever shopped for a car online, seen photos and data and comments and all of that, it's probably come from a company like Dealer Specialties. We have 3,000 dealerships nationwide. We process 150,000 vehicles every month, meaning photographs, collecting data, and sending that stuff out. 400 field representatives in the field doing all type of work. So dealers, that's our core business. And we've been around, we're the oldest. And so that's our core business. And so when we start looking at how we reinvent ourselves, we started looking at some things that were happening in the market. So that's when we came up with this new product we're really excited about.
So, all right, let me ask this, because you're making me think of timelines. All right, when did this product begin? When was the evolution of rolling this out in the marketplace?
Well, it's been going on for a couple of years now, but we started seeing stuff changing around 2013. And let me kind of back up to see where we're at and how we got where we were. So two things started happening in the car business, quite frankly, in retail business, period. And that is what I call the Amazon effect. You know, people started buying stuff online. And Amazon, you got to remember, when they first came out, they weren't what they are today. I mean, people would say they're a fad. They're losing money. Who would want to have stuff delivered to their house? Why? And the reason was,
said that a long time. They did.
That's right. They lost money for a long time. And people did it because it was convenient. So that's that Amazon effect. And they still have a big impact on all retail. So brick and mortar stores, they had to begin to transition into some sort of online presence. Some of the successful ones, the Best Buy, Walmart, all of them were able to transition. Some of the other ones weren't. You think about Toys R Us.
And that's pretty recent too.
That's right.
The Best Buy, the Walmart. It's amazing, really, that when we talk about like true Amazonification, that's just in the past few years.
Right. And they have lofty goals. By the year 2021, Amazon wants 50% of all e-commerce business. In 2019, they were at 45%. And that's before COVID. I was going to say,
it already feels like over 50 to me right now, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Amazon van is passing by nonstop, and there's multiple vans in the neighborhood. I get multiple deliveries from Amazon today. And so that was one of those changes that started happening. In 2015, Amazon leapfrogged Walmart as the most valuable retailer in the world.
Wow.
And that's because people were looking to buy things differently. And the second thing that we noticed, and quite frankly, the data's been out there for a long time, is that car buyers were looking for a different way to buy cars. I mean, being in the auto industry, it's painful to say, but people don't like buying cars. We're in the industry, we probably buy cars differently than others. Like we'll call up a buddy and say, hey, you know what, I need a car for my wife, tell me what you got. And that's not the traditional way of buying cars. People get online, they search, they find the car, and then they get to a dealership. And it's bad when dealers are having to offer you a free tank of gas to get a good review, right? Fill out this review, come back, give you a free tank of gas, don't worry about anything else. But when you start looking at the data that's out there, you start to look at what I've dubbed the Carvana effect.
Right. I was going to say that, but yeah, that's the next level. That's
exactly right. Because what happened is Carvana looked at data and said, hey, like for instance, a Gallup poll that said 8% of car shoppers thought that their salesperson was trustworthy. That's horrible.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
That's a Gallup survey. And Cox had one that said you basically have 90 minutes to get a shopper in your door at a dealership and out the door. And after 90 minutes, you start to see a dramatic decrease.
And that's a long time. If you're a customer, you're like 90 minutes.
Yeah, but
why?
Right now, it's 2 or 3 hours. People are sitting there going back and forth and financing. And so Carvana knew that, and they were able to take advantage of that. And that's when they said, hey, we're going to change the way people are buying cars. That is their motto. I mean, this company, people, I post so much about it that people think I work for Carvana. I don't. But they're a disruptor in the industry.
Well, that's the thing. We sound like if you listen to people talk, you hear Amazon, 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 Carvana, Carvana. We're just talking about the news. That's the news.
And if you ask dealers about Carvana, they're going to have an opinion. It's going to be, it's a fad. They're losing money. It's never going to work.
Amazon.
It's Amazon. It's where it is all over.
It's a fad.
And then people start wanting to talk about dealers. That is, want to talk about, well, are they successful? Now, I chose Houston because I lived just north of Houston in Spring. In 2017, Carvana was not in the top 10 volume retailers, used car volume retailers. In 2018, they moved to number 6. In 2019, they moved to number 3 in Houston as the number 3 volume retailer in Houston for used cars.
Wow.
Now, what's interesting about that data, which is provided by another company of ours, Cross-Sell, is it looks at it and says, we can look at it and say that brick and mortar retailer dealers, their data and numbers continue to decline, right? They're selling fewer and fewer and fewer cars. But these non-traditional retailers, as we dubbed it, which in this case is Carvana, is continuing to grow volume. So they were behind CarMax, which was number 1 in Houston, followed by Texas Direct Autos, which ironically enough is a competitor of Carvana, owned by Vroom out of New York. And
That's right. Hey, is Vroom, in fact, is Vroom, do you see Vroom? Because that's that's larger in your area, right? Vroom. Yeah. Do you see them as a big influence?
Yeah, so we've always known them here in Houston as Texas Direct Autos. So,
right.
3,000 cars on the lot, and you see them all over the place. What they haven't done quite as well as Carvana, and where I think your audience could really pick up, is Vroom hadn't branded their delivery process for those vehicles. And I'll tell you a quick story. A friend of mine in the car business was talking about a neighbor of his, or an ex-neighbor of his, saw this car being delivered. It was on this flatbed truck. They thought it was a tow truck. They dropped the car off. They picked one up and drove off. 2 days later, they pick up the car they dropped off. They leave another car. And so they walk over and they say, hey, what's you having car trouble? And they said, no, we're buying cars from Carvana. And sure enough, these people had never heard of Carvana, but they had branded themselves, Carvana that is, on their delivery vehicles, that it starts to click. And that's the sort of things that when people realize that delivery of anything, quite frankly, specifically vehicles in this case, when you start branding it, when people start realizing, wait a minute, I can have a car delivered, and if I don't like it, I'll send it back and get another one, then the business will really start to explode. And I think, quite frankly, COVID has poured gasoline on that process.
I agree with you, and there's many things I want to say. One is that, okay, so I was dispatching for car haulers, okay? And when I was dispatching, I would see Texas Direct Auto posting loads, and then I came to know that they were Vroom, somehow working with Vroom. That was years ago. And what I noticed about them is they were paying good rates to carriers to move cars in general. So in car shipping and in car hauling, we remember companies that compensate the average company, right? And so I hope some of those trends remain. I also remember booking Carvana cars, and they weren't too bad. Hopefully the rates are still good. So I know that in car shipping, we know some of these companies' names, and that's great and all, but switching gears, when we talk about branding, when you talk to a car hauler or a car shipper about somehow branding their truck for home deliveries, I think you've lost them. So while the customer and the dealer are like, yeah, we want all this branding, I think the car shipper's saying, yeah, I'm going to need some money. If you pay me, then we can talk branding.
Well, that's the relationship with the dealers. You spoke about that earlier, where your audience needs to start building those relationships. The number of vehicles that are being delivered to residentials or office places is only going to go up.
It's going to keep going. It's going to skyrocket.
So, and there's a number of groups out there, the Group Ones, the Auto Nations,
Right.
all those folks. They're going
Yes.
to need alliances and relationships to fulfill these deliveries. And that, for me, when I think about how this impacts your audience the most, is there's going to be more cars delivered. Now, if that's short hauls or if it's one-offs or whatever, but nevertheless, that is going to happen. Carvana is just a disruptor. There will be others come, in my opinion, there'll be others come along.
Well, and what's interesting is when we talk about Carvana and Amazon, and I'm going to go ahead and say Uber, because that was another name we heard Uber all the time. 2 out of 3 of those companies have kind of capitalized on what's happened. What's interesting is Uber seems just a dominating force, and this has just, struck right in the back of Uber.
Yeah.
Uber, I mean, but what I'm getting at is Carvana was already there. And now this. Well, now it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to shop online, and you're going to want touchless home delivery. That's what you want.
That's right. And Carvana knew that. And, in 2017, they bought a company called Car360 that they were actually on Shark Tank with Mark Cuban.
Awesome.
$22 million. And they bought this technology so they could build this spin of the vehicle and start to detail the condition of the vehicle, because condition's important when you're talking about used cars. It's not a new car. There's going to be some flaws about it. There might be a small stain or the tires aren't new. And so Carvana knew that if they were going to spend the money and the effort to take a car and deliver it, when it got there, the consumer, the buyer, better have been satisfied with it. And if they weren't, then that car was coming back, and now you had to just.
And
so
they do not want that.
They don't want that. No.
Exactly.
And the way they fixed it was the condition reports, the consumer-facing condition reports, and that's exactly what CARscore is for these brick and mortar dealerships. Is to say, hey, people are wanting to do this. 47% of all of Carvana's shoppers were millennials and younger Gen Xers. Well, their buying power is only increasing. These people grew up watching YouTube. They're probably watching you now. and so they're shopping for cars. And so if traditional brick and mortar dealers don't embrace it, and it's hard to embrace, it really is.
Oh, this is an area I'm sure you know very well of the pain of a traditional dealer to adopt.
Yeah.
All this it's painful.
Oh, it is. And because, they don't, dealers, they're humans just like we are, and they think about the way they do things. And it happens in any industry. If you're not forward thinking enough about what's happening, what's going to impact your business, well, at some point you become non-existent. And so while there'll always be people who want to test drive and kick the tires and all of that, I'm not saying that will ever go away.
There will be.
There will be.
But they'll still want to do research online, right? I mean, there's an aspect. How many people, let's say in 5 or 10 years, are going to do none of it online?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
That number is, 90% of all car deals start online somehow, somewhere. So, they do some sort of research. Usually you'd go to 7 or 8 dealerships. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad would get the Chronicle, and it was, that big, and the car section was that big, and he'd circle these ads, and we would go out on Sunday because the dealerships were closed, and we'd scour the dealership looking for this one-off, Taurus G with electric windows but no electric. It's just craziness, right? And so you didn't find you'd go to 5 or 6 of these dealerships. Well, today you go to about one and a quarter, meaning you do all that online, and you're trying to find that car that you're looking for, because shoppers know what they're looking for, and then you go and you buy it.
And even you could equate this to the dealer at the auction that has loved being at the auction, seeing the cars in the lanes, touch it. But there are dealers all the time learning that digital auction, which again, I mean, just slam. If you weren't using digital auction software, you are now.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that started early in the early 2000s when the wholesale market kind of changed. Dealers had the option to do simulcast auctions online, or they could do, proxy bids. And so they started buying cars without going to kick the tires and doing all that. But one thing they found with that is they would buy a car sight unseen, like we're discussing. The car would get there, and it wasn't in the condition that they expected it to be.
Right.
That's when condition reports were originally introduced in the car business, was when dealers say, wait a minute, this is not what I bought. So condition reports in the car business have been around for a long time. So if dealers won't buy a car without a, condition report, then why wouldn't their customers? And that's where we're at.
Well, and so then the tie-in here is in car shipping. I mean, you've got to have a good condition report, bill of lading. A few years ago, I looked up the history of the bill of lading, and the origin was the same point. How do I know what you're shipping is what I bought?
Right.
Right. And so it's that you've got to have, and as the technology gets better, all vehicle condition reports get better. And I think at some point the technology is going to be so good that those condition reports will flow through the process. So whether that's the report you saw when you were buying it, it's now being added to for the shipping, and the guy at the end that buys the car, it's the same condition report all the way through. And so it makes sense that you're going to have the data match the condition all the way into where the customer actually gets it.
Yeah, there'll be a day that, people in your audience delivers a car and there won't be any concerns about when did this damage happen. Did it happen before? Did it happen during? Or did it happen after? Because we'll be able to say, we did the condition of this report. We're independent. We're not a dealership employee. The car either has these flaws in it or it doesn't. We upload that data. Someone buys it. They ask, someone from your audience to transport it, and it gets there. Well, this is the shape this car is in. This is it. And perhaps even get to the point to where, the person dropping the car off could do another quick inspection and say, yep, it matches every one of the data points that it did when it sat on the showroom or sat on the dealership's lot. So, there's endless possibilities when it comes to this sort of stuff.
I want to ask you a question. So, last fall I was seeing a lot more technology you mentioned like spin car. And I think that's the area of technology I'm thinking, where you pull the car into a unit or station and then it's on a Lazy Susan, you get all the photos. Is that where technology is headed, or is it headed in the opposite direction where the camera goes to the car?
Yeah. That's a whole other show. I'm very
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very passionate about what we call photo booths. So yes, there's some technology out there. Dealer Specialties has that technology where we build spins all the way around the car, interior, exterior. That can be done with the technology that our field reps have today. Okay. And then you have companies out there that go out and they sell what we call a photo booth. Now, before I was in the car business, I was in the retail business. And one of the things in the retail business we did is dollar per square foot. Like I worked at Kroger, and if there was an empty shelf, we were dollar per square foot was down. Well, dealerships who buy, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't think I could be wrong, but if you're a dealer and you want to put in a photo booth in a 20 by 20 bay, you're taking away revenue generation by putting in an expense. Right. So that's a whole other show, but nevertheless, to answer your question, there's this photo booth technology stuff, but really the technology now is around building these spins around the vehicle, walking around, creating a video, both interior, exterior, hitting these hot spots, which is a lot of what our products do.
Well, and I think you just made me think, I believe it was a couple auctions that I saw, and I don't know their process so that it's efficient and fast, but they're getting a 360 inside the vehicle, right? And you're obviously, this is your area.
We do that.
You have something you use to get the 360 in the vehicle.
That's right.
And then you have something you use to get the 360 outside the vehicle.
That's correct. Absolutely. So two things on that, right? So yeah. I talked about the millennials who grew up on YouTube. They love video. People are buying, 10-year-old vehicles because they saw a video on YouTube, right? YouTube through the roof, right? Yeah. So you have actual video that you can do, and you can have the spin technology you can do. And the key here is, like, when we start looking at distributing that data, right? I can distribute those videos. I can distribute what we call, our car spin 360, but you still have to have photos. You still have to have the still image because in the end, if I'm shopping on my smartphone,
I totally agree.
I want to be able to swipe through photos rather quickly to see if it has navigation, see if it has DVD, see if it has heated seats. And so there's still,
and that's a separate process of documentation. Am I right?
It can be. It absolutely can be.
It can be. Or you could take stills from the 360.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You have to have really high resolution video for that, right? Wow, so you actually, it's interesting as I think about it. I mean, your world contains a lot more video than I think I had thought about.
Yeah, video over the last last 6 or 7 months has really taken off. And it's really because as the industry, the auto industry, it seems to always be a step or two behind the home industry. I don't know why, but it is. And so video has caught up in the auto industry where people are realizing, like, man, I have to have videos in my car. I mean, people are shopping YouTube. Those things help with SEO, and it just drives traffic back to a dealership's website. So yeah, if you're a dealer today and you haven't invested in video, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Wow, and I'll bet there are plenty of dealerships that actually, if you just asked them that, they'd say, yeah, we don't have any video, right?
Right. Yeah. They'll say, why do I need a video?
Exactly. Walk me through it. Why do I need a video?
Yeah. Well, you need a video because people are shopping that way, right? As I said earlier,
we'll just do some pictures. We got pictures of the cars.
Yep. Well, that's 47% of these people that are shopping online at Carvana. They're looking at video, and so you're walking away from a large set of people that want to interact with that sort of media. You and I may love photography. I love still photography.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up on YouTube and playing video games or any of that. These people that have this increased buying and spending ability, that's the way they grew up. And video fits perfectly into the way they want to shop.
Well, and when you talk about that, I mean, if we're talking about that demographic, we have to talk about social media, and there is no social media without pictures and video.
That's right. I mean,
social media without pictures and video would be like, I don't even know what that would be.
Yeah, Facebook had to create their own video platform, right? Google went out and gobbled up YouTube, and so Facebook said, "Well, man, this video thing. If we don't have a video platform, we're going to lose. We're going to lose users."
Yeah, no, for sure. And now we're seeing more mobile video applications. In fact, think about just for TikTok. You must find TikTok interesting.
My daughter does, yeah.
Exactly. There we go. Thank you. See, that's how new it is. I actually just started watching some TikTok videos like a few weeks ago. Right. And for TikTok, I think TikTok has the same kind of Snapchat thing. Like, really? Can you give me some Snapchat? Like you can't talk about it. But It's just another mobile platform I don't actually know the purpose. I don't know what the purpose of TikTok is. But what's fascinating about it is whoever is making these videos, like they're spending a lot of work on these videos. And when traditional companies can figure out how to tap into that the right way, man, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah, well, TikTok. I mean, my daughter, who's 15, is on it continuously, making all type of videos. Now, exactly. I won't appear in those videos because I don't know where she's posting them.
That's right. Well, you know what? And here's what I've seen is a lot of the videos lately that I've seen where and I don't watch a lot of TikTok. I make sure I only watch a few minutes and then I stop. But because you get in this, like, you're just watching these 10-second videos. It's just like, it's like this, it's like this mind warp.
Right.
Your brain in a blender, and they call it TikTok. Okay, so, but what I'm getting at is this. If Carvana or a company like that, especially, man, if a car shipping company could figure out how to make a good TikTok video, like the right way that kids could actually like it, it would blow people's minds.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Why haven't you done it?
You're right. What am I doing? Actually, that's why I've been watching TikTok, because I'm trying to figure out what's the tone. And here's what I've actually seen is the production level. There's a lot of expectation. You have to make an amazing video in the very first second, and it's got to be real. It can't seem scripted.
Right.
TikTok is the toughest film school you'll ever find today. NYU Film School's got nothing on TikTok. Put that in your book. right? I'm telling you, it's pretty wild. So, and I believe in, and that's why when we talk about, if you're going to make any inspection, it needs to be good. It can't be all chicken scratches, although you'll still find that on Manheim gate passes.
Yeah.
And that'll at least get you through a minimal court process. Here's what I want to do. Instead of just rattling off and sounding off, I want to go to I want to pull up the website. Can we do that?
Yeah, I can share if you want to, whichever one.
I got this. I got your website pulled up.
Okay.
And I just want to, let's see, where do I put that? I'll put that up here. So, all right, so I go to dealerspecialties.com.
That's right. That's our core business. Been around since '89, as you can see there.
Should I go to CARscoreReport.com?
Let's go to CARscore. That's the most exciting portion of all of this. And
Perfect.
so CARscore. Let me ask you: if you shop online, do you look at reviews and star ratings and all that?
Yeah, you know what? It's amazing how those stars really catch your eye.
Sure, they do.
It's like instant credibility.
That's right. You wouldn't go to a restaurant without checking. Now, my boss is probably online, but I'll tell you a story. We were in San Antonio, and he wanted to eat really quick, and it was on the Riverwalk. So first couple of places had an hour wait. We end up at this small restaurant, and they're like, yeah, we can sit 9 of you right now. I'm like, well, that's pretty amazing. It's a Friday night. You can sit 9 of us. Let me tell you, it had 2.5 stars. There was a reason why it sit 9 of us, and we should have paid attention to that. But you're right. When you start seeing any sort of star rating or any of that, you start to think, all right, well, this vehicle or this restaurant or this product has some reviews to it, and maybe it's something that I want to look at.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you got me there. And notice, I mean, let's go to, I know that I saw, a sample report. I just want to pull this up here. Here's a sample report.
Right.
All right. So this is kind of your basic example report?
Yeah, this is basically what we do. So we send out our field reps, and they go out and they inspect about 48 different points. Now, we're not looking at, frame damage or water damage or odometer, because there's a couple of big guys out there that do that really, really well.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is help those shoppers, consumers, make an emotional connection with a vehicle. So we look at 48 different points, and we start to grade it. And so, you can click on different aspects of it, and you can see the different, like that has a small chip. You can see on the bottom. If you click on the green on the front tire, that's going to tell you that this car has good tread. And the reason this is important is, buying cars sight unseen or having a car delivered before you test drive it, you want to know what this car looks like when it shows up at your front door. Right. So if you click on the little yellow triangle next on the wheel.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, now you look at this car and if you're a dealer, you think, why would I want to disclose this? Well, let me tell you, this is a 2013 Toyota Avalon, and it's a used car. People know they're used cars. They clicked on the button that says used cars, right? So there's nothing wrong with saying this is the car. This is the car. This is how we represent it. But let me tell you where the real value comes in for a dealer. If I'm shopping this car and I look at it, and if you look at the original photo, you can't see that damage.
You're right.
So if I show up at this dealership, if you've ever bought a home, you know this. You negotiate that price. Someone agrees on a price. They bring in their inspectors, and then they say, hey, we got 25 other problems we need you to look at. And that starts the second round of negotiation. What CARscore does for dealers, it stops the second round of negotiation. So if someone says, hey, this car has some scuffs on the wheels, like, yeah, that's why it's priced the way it is. That's why that's the way this vehicle is. Now, obviously, newer vehicles, you get into 17s, 18s, and 19s, there's going to be far fewer of those deals. But the average dealer spends about $1,200 on reconditioning every vehicle. So if you're taking your vehicles and you're reconditioning them, why wouldn't you want to tell consumers? Like, that was a vehicle that had, substantial damage to a wheel or scuffs to a wheel. But most, vehicles that dealers are selling on their lot, they're going to recondition them. They're going to send them through the detail. They're going to have dent. They're going to have scratches. They might clean the carpets. There's nothing worse than walking up to a car you've seen online, you want to buy it, you open the door, and it smells like mildew because the detail person shampooed the carpets, locked it all up, and drove it out on a parking lot that's 120 degrees, and all of a sudden now it smells. So
do you have, interesting point, do you have, is information like that, is there a place for that information? I'm going to guess the answer is yes, where you've got, okay, I mean, because you've got, this is the exterior,
right,
you can go to the interior.
Yep, just click on the interior. Yep.
And do you talk about, I'm just curious, you got my curiosity going, you got a smell, do you talk about the smell
Yep.
anywhere?
Smell was a big one that we looked at. You might click on the rear, see if it's on there, but yes, smell is certainly one of them on there that we
interior smell, no odor.
Right, absolutely. So
yeah.
And what we did is we didn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to inspecting vehicles. We just took what, the auctions were doing and said, this is how we're going to grade these vehicles. The other thing that's important to point out is, like, when I say these things are independently inspected, they are. Our account reps have no clue what rating that vehicle is going to get. So it either has a small scratch or no scratch, right? And so the reps have no idea what the final rating would be. And we did that for transparency so that dealers couldn't come up and say, hey, man, I'll slip you a few extra bucks if you can rate these cars. The reps either has these flaws in it or it doesn't.
So you said you have reps. A rep does every inspection?
That's right. So a dealership, they could be a current customer. We're doing all their photography and videos and comments, and we can add this on top. Or they can be standalone dealers where we're going out and simply doing their inspections for them.
So, wow, there's a lot of opportunity for, I mean, you must have quite a network at this point, right, of reps and, yeah.
Nearly 400 in the field that are out,
And, it's pretty cool because as you look at this, you get to sense that, well, other than the rims, this thing looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty clean car to be a 2013.
Yeah, no, it's really, I like the way it looks. It's really easy to absorb quickly. Right?
I mean, think about the value for your audience, though. If it has that damage on that back wheel, there's it was there when you bought the car. I mean, it's already been disclosed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this is where I really do think, because I know people are asking the question. The question has been asked, where can a carrier's vehicle condition report tie into the value proposition for the end buyer? Because right now, it's just a protection mechanism for the shipper, for the carrier.
That's right.
But it contains a lot more value than that. In fact, here's one of the things I wonder. I wonder if in the new COVID-19 landscape, I wonder if there's going to be more opportunities for carriers that offer that extra level of disinfectant and vehicle condition and networking and etc. More opportunity for some. I know there's not a whole lot of pie left in the price of a vehicle, but carriers, for the work that they do, they need a little bigger piece in some of these instances for it to be worth it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had that video or that image of disinfectant. I mean, that I hadn't even thought about that. I don't know if you found that online where that they were going out and disinfecting cars. But when it comes to a bigger piece of the pies, I mean, for us, we find ourselves in that same scenario. As car dealers have this race to the bottom with pricing, right? You have pricing software out there that scans the industry or scans the market and says, lower your price, lower your price, lower your price.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Instead of selling any sort of value, they're instantly dropping price. And so when they start dropping price, their volume, their margins drop, which means they press us and they press me and they press you. And so everyone down the chain is seeing that happen. And when the internet first came out, a lot of people looked at it as a way to level the playing field, in the sense.
Yeah, that's right.
And what it's done is it's gone, in my opinion, it's gone beyond that. And now it's like, how quickly can I sell this car, and how cheaply can I sell it and still make a few bucks? And that is what I refer to, a lot of us refer to as the race to the bottom.
And I agree with you. And I think it's important to talk about the race to the bottom. The thing is that, and that's where Amazon comes back up. Some things I've bought on Amazon, I've thought, how can it be that cheap?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get, especially before COVID, and I'm going to get next day delivery and it's that cheap?
Right.
How can that be?
Well, one thing I'd point out from a Carvana perspective is they're not the cheapest game in town. If you price their, if you look at cars, if you look at their cars versus,
and they're still getting the business, so that tells you something, right?
Before we launched CARscore, we did an independent survey, and what was interesting about it, 2 facts. 60% of the people that responded to the survey about if there was a condition report tied to the vehicle before you purchased it, 60% of those people said they would pay more. They would pay more because they don't want to have to deal with that other part of the dealership, the negotiation, the haggling, being around,
F&I,
all of that stuff, right?
The
this is
freaking F&I, right?
Yeah, make this process easier for me. And 70% of those respondents said they would drive 30 plus miles if they knew when they got to that dealership that car was in the condition that it appeared to be online. And you do that by disclosing it with transparency and helping improve your shoppers' satisfaction.
You know, and it's interesting. In fact, as part of the dealership benefit, I'm going to throw this out there. You made me think of it. Is that some car buyers and customers aren't even aware of the level of service available at the dealership. There are reasons why dealerships are good options as far as your source for where you get your car.
Oh, yeah.
But F&I stands in the way of seeing some of that. And that's where I think that what I think we're on the same page is the internetification of this process, of the sales process, can benefit a lot of dealerships in a positive way. So they stop getting in their own way.
Yeah, I go back to, and I shouldn't say it because I'm in Texas, and somehow Texas crude is selling for negative dollars.
Right, I heard, yeah.
But it goes back
speculation.
What it goes back to, would I rather sell 10 barrels of oil for $100 or 100 barrels of oil for $10? Obviously, I want to sell fewer and make more. And in my mind, if dealers could get to the point to where they could get grosses up in a way that they were going to provide some sort of superior service, some sort of superior quality, they can continue to build their relationships in the markets. We could get to a point to where they could see increases in gross. I mean, Carvana is doing it. I mean, CarMax is not the cheapest game in town, and they sell a ton of cars.
Carvana is showing many dealers how to do it, but the dealer has the advantage because he's there. You know, we don't say support local just because it's something special to say. Ty likes to point out, the dealer is a cornerstone of the community. The dealer is the guy that helps, pay for a banner at the boys' baseball game and stuff like that. So when a dealer participates in the community and then can grow their business, this is something you can't get online from many states away. Right? You just have to recognize the parts of the process that are broken. It's not a simple thing, by the way. I mean, none of this is simple. Hashtag not easy. None of this is easy.
No, you have to be aware of it and be willing. There's a dealership here in Houston that is advertising. They'll have you out the door in 90 minutes or less. There's a billboard.
That's awesome.
That CarMax says they'll deliver you a test drive, and you don't spend money on that sort of stuff without there being some sort of evidence that this is going to be successful. Carvana doesn't spend $22 million on software if they didn't know that it was going to lead to something bigger and better. And that's, dealers, not that you have to go out and spend $22 million to make your dealership better, but you have to be willing to ask yourself the hard questions. Am I providing a service that consumers are willing and able to pay for? And is it worth it? Dealers today could deliver cars. There's nothing that has stopped them from saying, we'll deliver, you don't have to show up. Dealers could say today, I don't want you to be in my dealership longer than 90 minutes. They could do that all today. And some are starting to take notice. And I think the gasoline that COVID's poured on the situation is only going to accelerate it.
You made me think of, just I mean, some things are good ideas, but there's how did Jeff Bezos know that Amazon wasn't just a good idea? It was the penultimate idea.
Yeah.
And he put up with 15 years, well, it's at least 10 years of BS about what a bad idea this was.
Tesla comes to mind on that as well. And
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Tesla, oh man, and that's another one. Tesla was already ahead as far as electric batteries and, you know, really a pioneer in the auto industry. And then COVID happens. The OEMs got to go to ventilators and all this supply chain crap. And Tesla's like, oh my gosh, I mean, wow.
Right. Disruptors. You have to be constantly looking at those disruptors in your industry and see what they're doing well and either beat them to it or mimic it.
Maybe we need to just start paying attention whoever's getting laughed at, because that's your innovator.
That's right. No, for sure.
Like, guess who gets the last laugh?
People laugh at me all the time, so I must be some sort of innovator. So
I started a car shipping business channel when it didn't make any sense to a lot of people. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess, but that means I have another 6.5 years of
before you see the fruits of your labor.
Right, before I see the fruits of my labor, exactly. All right, here's what we're gonna do. This is perfect timing. It's 9:30, so here's what we're gonna do. Aaron, I want you to stay on. We're gonna hear from Ty and a little dispatching live promo while I bring in. Okay, we're gonna bring in Kim from 50 States DMV. And we're going to bring in Mike from Data One Software. I want you to stick around because we've got more to do.
Hey guys, Ty, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Dispatcher to driver, do you wish that you had somebody else helping you look for loads? You're looking for somebody to just watch those routes and get the really good stuff, right? You want a dispatcher to watch a load board during those times where you can't, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody to help you make sure you stay loaded. And all we do is sit at computers, look at load boards, and make phone calls. That's what we do. Okay, and we are back. And if you're just joining now, it's okay. You've missed most of the show, but that's okay. You can go watch it back on my YouTube channel, on Auto Transport Intel on YouTube. And if you stuck around through that, I appreciate it, because we got 2 more panelists joining us. We've got one right now knocking at the door. We've got Kim. And by the way, I think I've got the plurals. I'm adding an S to everything. It's 50statedmv.com. Even though there are 50 states. Oh, by the way, let me change my graphics here. Kim, welcome to the show. Can you see us and hear us okay? Now let's see. Okay, we can see you, but I don't know if we can hear you. Nope, I can't hear you. So you're down in your
How about now?
There we go. Hey, how you doing, Kim?
Pretty darn decent. How are you?
Great. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we're glad you can join us. We have Mike from Data One Software. Oh, there he is. He's at the door. And I think he brought the pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Let's ask him. All right. Hey, Mike, can you see us and hear us okay? And he's checking in. And I think, okay, making sure everyone can see us and hear us okay. Check. Mike, can you see us and hear us?
I can see and hear you, Jay.
Awesome. Okay, so everybody is here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move names around on the screen for a second, so bear with me. Must be an app for that. I'm sure TikTok would never have names floating around and somebody manually. None of that happens on TikTok. And this is not TikTok, by the way. This is Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. All right, first I want to say welcome to the show, Kim at 50 State DMV. Kim, please say hello to the audience and let us know, what is 50 State DMV?
First of all, good evening, everybody. This is a pretty neat show. This is the first time I've watched it, and I signed in when Jay went live, and I'm glad I did. This has been very, very enlightening. 50
Appreciate
state,
that.
yeah, definitely. 50 state DMV, what do we do? Title registration, all 50 states, lien perfection. We work for dealers, lenders. We do have one relationship with a shipping company and interested in just helping wherever we can.
Yeah, no, that's busy stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the funny thing is that there are areas of industry where it may not be the most fun, right? But it's so important. And that's why I shared in industry news, about the wet signature. Right.
Yeah.
And when I called you, I said, I think one of the first things I said is, there's talk about wet signature. I want to talk about it. It's got to be really tough to deal with that on a nonstop basis.
So you didn't even like warm up. You came right at me.
Go right in. I know.
Straight
Right?
in.
I'm like,
Like,
what are you
"Hi,
doing?
nice to meet you, Jay." No, I'm just kidding.
It's true though. I know.
It is true. And secondarily, when you mentioned 50 states,
Yeah.
literally we're in, so like all joking aside, we actually say that within the office because literally all day long, we are in 50 different states of thinking all day long.
Whoa.
Okay.
50
It
states
is.
of thinking.
It's crazy
Awesome.
because what's going on in Louisiana right now has nothing to do with Missouri. You have to erase Louisiana and move into to Missouri. So, inside joke.
Awesome. I love it. No, and I got it. I mean, I felt that like, wow. 50 states of thinking. I love it. It should be on the bumper sticker.
It is insanity. So,
And I want to say this before we go too much further. Mike from Data One Software, thank you for joining us in the panel. Please say hello to the audience. You've been on the show.
Hello, everyone. Again, it's nice to be back on the show, Jay. Thanks for inviting me.
And what does Data One Software do again?
Well, if you missed that exciting episode,
I didn't.
Data One is one of the leading data providers focusing on vehicle information, everything from VIN coding to specs, features, service schedules, a tremendous amount of data and content that is used by companies to market and their inventory and otherwise powers a lot of website providers, service providers, a lot of things that dealers buy, those digital services are partially powered by Data One vehicle information. And that's what we do. We collect that information for light duty vehicles, heavy duty vehicles, motorsports, and then we license that to companies that do really interesting things with it, like create condition reports and facilitate digital transactions or help buy, sell, market vehicles.
What I was thinking, here's what I was thinking. All right, so like Michael Culler in the live chat said that his kids are watching right now on the screen. And right now his kids are running around and they're not paying any attention to, because we just talked about titles and registration. They'd be like, I don't know what that is. Data, I don't know what that is. Vehicle condition reports, I don't know what that is. So like, well, it sounds like we're speaking an alien language. But really, these are fundamentals of getting business done in automotive. Without these fundamentals, the car is not there, the car is not ready, the car is not what you think it is, all of those things. So here, Michael's Colors kids, these are fundamentals, and you have to know what they are, and I know it's a little dull. That's why you go to school. Welcome to Auto Transport Intel. Tuesday night automotive school. And that's the thing is too, this isn't just for car shippers. One of the things that, this isn't, what I'm trying to say is, I've got a car shipping show, but I go outside the realm of car shipping because this knowledge will help when you come back home and you look at your business model. This will help you grow and adapt to what's going on in the bigger picture. Am I right?
You're correct.
All right, I'm correct. All right, so what I didn't do is, here's the thing: is I say I don't have a scripted show, and I didn't have any bullets. I didn't jot anything down, although I like to. So I've got my pen and I've got my paper, but I didn't jot anything down because we covered some good stuff. Kim and Mike, here's a question for you guys. Is there anything we talked about that made you think of something that you wanted to hit upon? Kim, I think I cut you off and introduced Mike, and I'm wondering, is there anything that we were talking about that you might hit upon right now that you either read in the live chat? There's a lot of great stuff in the live chat. In fact, here we go. Let's go with one. Kim, does 50 State have relationships with any of the auctions?
Does 50 State ever what?
Do you have any relationships with any of the
No.
auctions?
No, we have, but we have explored beginning relationships. But as far as the actual processing, I think we would end up being more of a resource than the full solution. More of an information resource. Well, let's go back. Today it's going to be Louisiana and Missouri. And I just randomly pick states because I can.
Yeah, do that.
The auction may end up in a situation where they're very, very good at Missouri, but then for some reason, staffing, whatever, Louisiana has turned into a problem. They'll call us for the solution. We'll provide the solution and we all move on.
Right. So it's, in fact, I think what we're doing is you're more behind the scenes. It's not like a front desk at the auction.
You never see us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nobody sees us.
That's right. Like Men in Black.
Like
right?
Men in Black.
We
That's
are
right.
50 States of Mind. Hey, if I buy a vehicle, I want to know, I think this is geared towards you, Aaron. If I buy a vehicle, I want to know how the engine is. How does it feel? What's it feel like when it's driving down the road? Are the shocks good? Is the oil clean? Has the radiator been flushed? How would you address that information?
Well, certainly the first iteration of CARscore is what it is. We have a roadmap of things to add to it. I don't know if we get to shocks and that sort of stuff, but certainly it's something that there's a list of things on the roadmap that we're moving towards. What we did is we tried to find the things that were most important to I say a normal shopper, but we can all define that separately. And we came up with about 48 different points, but nothing to say that it doesn't soon get there.
Well, and that's the thing is that, like, I know there's a digital auction solution where, in fact, I think multiple, where they have recordings of the engine. Do you have audio of the engine?
No recordings of the engine right now.
Right, no recordings of the engine. Are there areas like that are kind of trending? Like, do you find it hard to keep up with all of the possible things the consumer wants to know about the vehicle?
It can be a daunting task because, we obviously there's development that goes into when you add any sort of data point or checkpoint to that. So the list grows, and sometimes we scratch stuff out and say, you know what, that's something that's outside of our scope and umbrella. And then sometimes we add it to the list. I'm not privy to the list right now. I just know that there is a list.
That's what I usually say. I'm not privy.
Yeah.
Most consumers are not really looking to tune into the purr of the engine to diagnose engine, health. They're so that may be not something that's high up on a consumer facing condition report.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I spent a lot of time in industry news talking about what's going on. I mean, it is weird to talk about something that happened just last Wednesday, because I do a Tuesday night show and I've been doing the industry recap. And last Wednesday already seems like last month. Are there things, Kim, Mike, Aaron, are there things that have suddenly changed that have really affected your? Yeah, right, Kim. What comes to mind when I went?
So here's the biggest problem we have. The news is reporting all over the country. You guys all know this. You're watching it. You see it, right? The news is reporting all over the country that this DMV is closed down and that state's closed down and this isn't happening. And we've got rumors running rampant in the industry that, we're not going to get our plates until at least December. It's all untrue. The DMVs are very quietly and carefully processing work behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Very, very carefully.
Okay.
Other than those states that you have to appear in, which would be Colorado, Alabama, I'm going to drop the ball on a couple, and if Jesse could help me. Oh, Jesse, our COO, is also in the live chat.
Yeah.
If you have any questions,
yeah.
he's active. If you have any questions, you can live chat them. He's on tonight as well. Anyways, and I can't remember the other states because it's late and I'm in 50 different states of mind. But one of the things, and I don't want to take over your show, Jay.
No,
but
I love it. Please. That's why you guys are here. I've talked enough. Keep going.
So I was on LinkedIn, and I have no idea who posted this or where it came from, so don't hold me accountable. But what they said they're running into is with the new landscape, which there's no land, we're all on the internet. What they're running into is to be able to put together the entire transaction, the touchless transaction.
Yes.
You've got to have several different industries, complete and total industries, start to collaborate and come together. And rather than I'm the dealer's vendor, I take care of this piece. And none of it's ever going to work right until all of us vendors, I'm a vendor, right?
Yeah.
I refer to myself, because I couldn't figure out what to call myself, because welcome to my head, is I am an automotive support industry. That's what I call myself. So unless I can learn to work with the shipping company and the F&I company who's offering their menu digitally, right?
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or not, it's all got to come together so we can maintain the profitability of our industry and provide that level of service to the consumer. Because if the consumer isn't happy, we all lose.
Well, and you know, it's interesting because that's where, like, on the touchless delivery, I'm so curious how the car shipping, car fleet management, title registration, all the branding on the trucks. You know, the Carvana commercials show a lot of things that I got a lot of questions after that commercial. I got a lot. Yeah, I'm dying to get Carvana on the show to talk about all those things, and I don't expect it to happen. But I have a lot of questions because I think that looks great. In fact, I file that under easy peasy, and everybody knows how I feel about easy peasy. Is that I don't like easy peasy, and I don't believe in easy peasy. But if you show people easy peasy and you say you can buy and sell easy peasy, well, yeah, no, they've already signed up. They've already given their down payment on easy peasy. Yeah. So what does it look like when the chickens come home to roost? But I guess, what was the number, Aaron? How many people bought from Carvana last year?
I don't have the numbers in front of me.
Well, I thought you said like 170,000+. I think I've heard that.
It may be. They had 28 straight quarters of triple-digit growth, all the way up to February.
So I guess easy peasy works.
Someone's buying cars.
I know, but how's the driver a notary and he knows how to work in all 50 states and all the cars get everywhere on time? And I don't get it. I actually don't get it.
Well, increasingly, Carvana has integrated that function vertically within its company and is still doing a lot of the deliveries themselves.
Right.
There's obviously, they still use, help where they can. But as they grow and as they scale, they will continue to vertically integrate that piece of their business. It's essential to their brand. These cars are driving around with Carvana logos and a nice brand new shiny car on the back, right? Yeah. So they can also insulate their costs. There's a lot of things that they're looking to do. There's a lot of things they've already vertically integrated. You talked about earlier in the show a lot of the merchandising functions that they're doing in order to make for a very easy peasy online transaction.
Okay, but is that why it's not profitable? Because to pull off,
well, there's a lot of reasons why.
All of this to pull off all the sausage making behind the easy peasy, there's no. That's why I have so many questions, because the average business could not do that. And here's what's interesting. This is where it's about to get interesting. I've now seen some car shipping businesses start to try and enter that space. Even Vroom got that big financial, they got a funding round, and Santander was in on the deal. Anyways, Vroom is right there chomping at their heels, and they're not the only ones. It's about to get really interesting. And that's where making sausage. Kim, the 50-state DMV 50. You know what it's like to make sausage with 48 domestic states. Titles and registrations and wet signatures. That piece alone, it sounds really... Look, it's made me crazy talking about it.
Welcome to my world.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So it's not that bad, believe it or not. So over the last 6-8 months, we've been carefully testing electronic signature remissions, copies rather than original documents submitted for processing. We're finding success in the majority of the states. So dealership to consumer is a whole different conversation than casual sale, which is a private sale, right? Because dealership to consumer, you have that dealership's franchise agreement. Even if they're independent, you have their licensing agreement behind them. You have their bonding, you have their insurance. You don't have the level of fraud that you normally have in the casual sale atmosphere. So we're finding across the country when we remit, and the reason I brought that up, it sounded like a squirrel ran by, but one didn't. The reason I brought that up is because when the processing offices, and I don't care if it's Jackson County, Mississippi, when they see a transaction come in from a dealership, especially a franchise dealership, they are much less likely to stomp their feet and reject the transaction. Absolute worst case we've been through. Tennessee is very, very choosy about original. We have had to contact the dealer and go, hey, would you please recreate these documents? We FedEx them to customer, make sure customer signs them. Customer, I need you to go find a notary. But we take responsibility for the lien filing, because then let's talk about the lenders. You have to protect that relationship between the dealership and the lender, because without the lenders, the dealers aren't selling.
Well, so, and if you're inside the Carvana umbrella, then it probably doesn't get as complicated as, hey, we need to FedEx everything and, get the, but if you were to go outside of just a single company umbrella and you get into, doesn't it get more complicated?
Nope.
Okay.
They still have to deal with the same 50 states.
Well, I know, but
3,300 counties.
But when we talk about the driver being at this level of, I need your signature, right? Isn't that going to get weird?
No. You have a lien holder. You have a responsibility to your lien holder to get the inspections completed that we need to go ahead and perfect that lien. Oh, you're not interested in doing that? We'll let your lien holder know that you're a non-cooperative.
Right, and therefore, information will help everybody.
And guess who they're mad at? They're not mad at the dealer. They're not mad at the delivery driver. They hate me. So, you should go look at my Google ratings.
That's why you don't have a table at the auction.
Man. You got to Google it. You got it. Currently, I think I have a 2-star rating. I'm serious as a heart.
Oh, we talked about star. That's what we all have in common is the information. The information is what insulates us from the mobs, right?
Yep.
You've got the detailed vehicle condition report. You've got all of the data of the vehicles, or right? We talked about VIN integrity, right? Without that. That's one of the fundamental building blocks. You've got the information of what's required state by state. Is there anything, how about this, before we go, because we're near the end, is there anything we can discuss as a group on information that will help somebody moving forward trying to wrap their head around what's happening?
Absolutely. So there's an example. You have a lot of people that want to know, how do I take advantage of this changing landscape? If you're in the shipping industry, a lot of things are going to continue to change, and some things more rapidly because of what's happening now. So in the previous show, I mentioned that there's already a lot of sophisticated tools that are letting retailers, wholesalers, people who need to buy and sell cars understand the value of those cars a lot in a much more detailed way than they ever could. Plus, they have a lot of information on the markets and what's selling. So now, if you have transport as an input to move cars to where they're more valuable, you have a lot more need in the future to move vehicles and move them to where they're going to be more profitable. So there are now there's things that are can be implemented to where you can enable dealers to help ship and understand and take advantage of those different values in different market areas. And you have increasingly tools that are going to be moving vehicles around much more than they ever were. Instead of it sitting in North Carolina, and it's going to take an extra 30 days to sell, they can ship it down to Florida and maybe move a particular item faster. So systems now are capable, and they're only going to get smarter at identifying all of those efficient market opportunities, all of which will require transport of vehicle. And, if it happens out of, across state lines, well, then you're going to have to call Kimberly, because I don't know all that stuff.
It's not that bad, guys.
That's a great point. That, as we talked about earlier, that with the internet, right, you've got much more movement of products, and who moves all the products?
You guys.
The transporters.
Right.
That's a really good point. So what would be a way to grow, okay, given that knowledge and motivation, okay, what would be a way to grow business?
I have an example I can share of an experiment that I think is pretty promising.
Love it.
So I'm sure a lot of people watching may not be familiar with Data One, but Data One powers probably the majority of shipping company and shipping related solutions out there today. And one of the things that is important to note, we have two of our clients. One is a website developer for dealers, an up-and-coming startup called 321 Ignition. And the CEO of that company recognized that she can not only be smarter about the digital solutions she creates in a mobile-first website environment, but she also then partnered with a shipping company that was used technology to extend an API that she could call and she could integrate with her website solution, so that if a dealer has a customer from outside a service area for whatever reason requires delivery, close by or across several states, very easily through that API, they can compute the shipping cost, so the customer knows how much it's going to cost to get that car to my doorstep from that dealership. And that broadly extends the dealership service area, and of course makes shipping and transport much more essential, because every single dealer and every retail point, especially those that employ that kind of solution, can now take, they can address a nationwide audience just like Carvana. And shipping is the key.
It's really interesting you pointed that out. I'm familiar with 321 Ignition. And I just shared the landing page. Listen, I just shared it in the live chat too. Mike is throwing down some serious information right now. If you want to learn more from Mike, you go to dataonesoftware.com/ATI. Put in a few pieces of information. That's how you're going to get a hold of Mike. But that's really good advice. What else? Is it? I see kind of some popcorn thoughts happening. Or what's another thought on this topic?
Well, Group One is already doing some of that already with their Acceleride product. So you get on their website, you can pick, choose, negotiate, choose the shipping method and all that. Now, I don't know if it gets into quite the detail that Mike's talking about, but the point to it is some of these large groups are already investing in that. And if you're a single point store, or if you're a smaller group, then you gotta have to get on board at some point.
And this is where I think what we're getting at here is, with technology and with existing groups adopting technologies, the traditional method of just looking at lists of loads, which we call load boards, is probably the last good idea, because you're just you're just sifting through. It's kind of be like shopping for a car and looking through the phone book or whatever. You need a more interactive, something that's building a relationship and it's more instant, right? Because with these technologies, everything's much more faster. What's interesting is if that car, I'm sure they know this in Carvana, as soon as that guy needs his car in Louisiana, then it triggers several processes. One would be the titling and registration part. 2 would be the transportation part. 3 would, inventory manager at wherever the vehicle's located. But the point is that all happened with technology. It didn't happen with, I'm going to go make another phone call to that guy in Mississippi, and then I'm going to make another phone call. That's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
And so waiting, if you're at the end and waiting on the phone to ring, that's probably a problem. You should be waiting on a text message or an email, and you're already in the middle of doing something else. That's what you want to get to.
Yeah.
So.
So
right.
Mike,
So.
Mike, 50 State is partnered with 321 and Ship Your Car Now. That's the shipping company that we're involved with. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Small world.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it is. Because I was in a panel with John Robertson from Ship Your Car Now and Lyman Savvy from 321 Ignition, and I had met both of them at Used Car Week in November, and it's really interesting how it is. It's a small world. You come to find out, right?
Oh yeah, very much.
And even I know carriers and dispatchers at the just even at the entry level, they've heard of Room or Group 1 because these are companies posting loads on traditional load boards. But guess what? They're not going to be continuing to do that in the future. They're working with technologies and other companies that they know can handle that inventory and movement. So again, the waiting on the phone call I don't even answer my phone hardly anymore, right? Right, Aaron, you called me today. I didn't even answer. I had to go back and look to see who it was. Okay, yeah. I'll do that. But if you text me or email me, you can email me anytime. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Guys, I really to organize a show and then to get people to do it. It's not the easiest thing, and I never want to keep anybody later than they want to stay. And I can't just create friendships or meaningful conversation. I mean, I try to bottle that. But what happens is over time is I'm going to be pulling you guys in, asking you if you can come back for a panel discussion. And it's through that process. Some things just take time, especially human relationships.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you can't build that overnight. And listen, on that note, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let the panel go for the night, and then I'm going to talk to the audience here for a few minutes. Hey, by the way, before I let you go, contact information. If anybody has a question for Mike, what was it? Mike
B at data1software.com.
Mike B at data1software.com. I almost forgot the most important part. And Kim, there was an 800 number.
844-522-5967.
5967. That is 50 State DMV, which you can also go to 50statedmv.com.
Yep.
And Aaron, I think you said your email.
Yeah,
right?
just do aaron.maier@dealerspecialties.com.
All right, cool. Okay. Thank you so much. I just put that in the live chat. Now I can let you go. Shoo, that was a close one.
All right.
Yeah, I wish it were last week, and we were we would have been hanging out in person. I don't know how you do your show on the road, but the Auto Intel conference was last week in North Carolina. We would have, we would have been together then, but they'll just. I think now it's in August. I think so.
I'm really glad you pointed that out, and that's why I almost got there when I talked about Used Car Week. And listen, I seeing you at NADA was awesome. And that's how I met Aaron, was at the Vidara cocktail reception. These human interactions are important.
Yeah.
They're a really big deal. And yeah, missing the Auto Intel trade show last week, oh, that blows, man. And you know, like I met Terry Shabesta at True Payments, and he gave me a cigar. And you know how much it means to have somebody at a trade show hand you a cigar, and you get to hang out. And then that's how I met John Pasamato at Drive It Away. Yeah, like this is such a big deal. So we can't do everything on the internet. I guess we could do more, but we just can't do it all.
That's correct.
Yeah, and so that's why we're here. We're like internet people. We're two-dimensional once again, but we're just dying for the third dimension.
I need to get back on the road.
Sure.
You know, it's a whole nother thing when I'm able to meet people and talk with people and have much more focused conversations and get to know each other a little bit, because, you know, especially what I do, it's consultative. I need to understand your challenges and what you're struggling with, what you're trying to accomplish. That's a difficult thing to do over the phone. We can do that in Zoom, but you know, it's just not the same when I can't hand you a cigar right now, Jay, and say, hey, let's talk about XYZ. We can't do that. But I'm looking forward to the time when we can, because I love that's where all the best conversations and connections happen.
And so hats off. If you're an organizer of an event or trade show, hats off to you for doing that. And please put me on your VIP list, because I want to be there. And I mean it too. If you've got a boring webinar this week and you don't want to watch it, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. As long as it's automotive, I'll watch it and give you a recap. I know, right?
Notes by Jay.
You know, this is like a new TikTok business.
Jay breaks down the webinars. It's like the clip notes. It's great. I'll send you some links, Jay.
In fact, what I should do, I should make a TikTok video out of what I just said. It's like 3 seconds. And then like put like some bump and bass on it. Because that's the thing too. Every good TikTok video has like some insane soundtrack that somehow relates in an odd way to what you're seing.
Look forward to seeing your dance moves. So.
No, I can't say that's the thing. That's why I don't have a TikTok video. I don't dance. So I don't know. You guys, I really appreciate it, man. This was actually fun. It's the most fun I could ever have on a Tuesday night. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Jay.
All right, peace out, guys.
Take care.
All right, see ya. Bye. All right, and that is the end of the show. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? We did it again. We got to the end. We made it past 10 o'clock. Still a lot of people here. That's pretty cool. Listen, I really appreciate you guys being a part of the show. That was a fun show. It was informative. It was fun. And I think that there's some great, if you've got some questions, you've got some contact info, people you can reach out to. I know that part of the audience tonight is associated with either the guest or the panel or a business in general that applies to this. And so I appreciate you sticking around and putting it in the live chat. If you're part of the ATI core and you feel like you want to be there to help support Auto Transport Intel, I appreciate that too. I want to thank you guys. Now listen, I'm just going to say this too. Next week, where did that go? Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Let me try to just find that real quick. There's nothing quick about it. There is no easy peasy. Oh, here we go. Next week, broker versus dispatcher. That is going to be a great show. That's episode 135. That's with James Lamb. We are going to dive into regulations galore. Be another boring show for the kids. But listen, if you've ever accused a dispatcher of being an illegal broker, if you think you're a broker but you're really a carrier and you're dispatching a load and you don't have a license, this all falls into the Bermuda Triangle of broker versus dispatcher. There's a lot to talk about. And there are things at stake because there are legal ramifications, so be careful. Okay, so listen, this is the end of the show. I got to run that car hauler. I got to get out of here. I really appreciate you sticking around. I need you to be safe, stay safe, somehow stay in business. You know, if you're at home, you're probably at home, right? And hopefully you're working and getting ready to get back out there. And hopefully there was some good advice that helps you tonight. Please stay tuned to State of Car Hauling Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. And if dispatching or looking at loads is your thing, I know I have some negative things to say about it, but I know it's still very popular and it's still how a lot of people fill in their spots. So we're going to be going live with Dispatching Live on Thursday with Sue at Murphy Auto Dispatch. So obviously I go live 4 to 5 times a week now. I'm busy, you're busy, and I want us all to stay busy and safe. Thanks for watching Auto Transport Intel. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and I'll catch you soon. Here comes the car haul.